There are moments when something shifts in the air, almost too subtle to notice, yet your whole being recognizes it. You sense it not with your mind, but with the quiet intelligence that lives in your very essence. It's as if an invisible current passes between you and another, and without a word you recognize something profound, not about them, but about the unfolding truth within yourself. This is where the story begins. Carl Jung believed that deep within every man resides an inner feminine image, the anima, subtly shaping his capacity for love, his deepest longings, and even his hidden fears. He may consciously seek beauty, charm, or a specific personality, but beneath these surface desires, he is unconsciously searching for the missing pieces of his own soul. When a woman embodies and reflects that missing aspect back to him, it ceases to be a mere choice. It becomes an undeniable pull. This profound connection isn't primarily about what she does, but profoundly about what she is. Joe Dispenza would articulate this as coherence, the exquisite alignment of thoughts and feelings, where your inner and outer states resonate with the same frequency. When this alignment is achieved, your very presence radiates a distinct energetic signature. It registers within the nervous system of others long before any words are exchanged. People instinctively sense when you are congruent, when your energy flows steadily, when nothing frantic within you demands to be filled. This profound steadiness is perceived as safety. And safety, in a world often overwhelmed by noise and distraction, becomes an irresistible magnet. A primal recognition occurs within the body, a deep knowing that precedes the mind's comprehension. It happens when you find yourself in the company of someone who isn't performing, isn't striving for approval, isn't negotiating for their worth. They are simply rooted, like an ancient tree that doesn't lean towards you. Yet somehow, you find yourself drawn to rest in its shade. This magnetic force isn't about exertion, it's about an inherent gravity. Consider the profound difference between a wild flame, leaping desperately to ignite every wick and spark it encounters, and a hearth fire that burns with a steady, contained glow in one sacred place. The wild flame consumes itself swiftly, its brilliance fleeting. The hearth fire, however, endures through the night, drawing people closer not through frantic pursuit, but through its unwavering presence. One strives to be seen. The other simply is, and in that profound state of being it is truly seen deeply and irrevocably. This is the profound reason why men can release countless options without a second thought when they encounter a woman who doesn't compete for attention. She commands it effortlessly, not through louder pronouncements or sharper edges, but through the quiet, unshakable confidence that arises from knowing she doesn't need external validation to affirm her worth. Her inner light isn't contingent upon the reflection of another, and this realization fundamentally transforms everything. Perhaps this is the true invisible switch, not discovered in the eyes of others, but cultivated in the profound way you inhabit yourself when you are truly alone. For the moment you cease reaching outward for recognition, you begin to emanate the kind of presence that others instinctively recognize and are drawn to. You become the sacred space where their restless searching finally finds its profound rest. A moment exists, often unspoken, when the deepest rival in love isn't another woman, another narrative, or another fleeting temptation. It's the silent chasm between you and your authentic self. The world often instructs us to seek external threats, to scrutinize for signs of betrayal in another's gaze, to decipher hidden meanings in their words. Yet the truth, the one we often resist confronting, is that the initial fracture begins within, and a man senses this subtle dissonance even when no words are uttered. Jung once profoundly wrote that what you resist not only persists, but grows in size. When an unacknowledged emptiness resides within you, it manifests as a subtle undercurrent in your very presence. It doesn't need to speak. It hums in the quiet pauses. It trembles in the delicate spaces between words. This isn't a weakness in itself, it's a signal. And these profound signals are felt far more deeply than they are consciously heard. When you aren't fully inhabiting your own being, when precious parts of you have been exiled because they feel too heavy, too unworthy, too complicated, your energetic field becomes fragmented. You may offer a smile, yet that smile doesn't quite reach the depths of your eyes. You may extend love, yet a part of you silently awaits permission to truly rest. And a man, even without fully comprehending why, begins to feel an unconscious pull to seek elsewhere for what feels missing, not because you lack beauty or kindness, but because the sacred thread that binds your inner and outer worlds has become loose. This is the profound reason why some connections gently fade without any clear, discernible cause. The root isn't always found in what is explicitly said or done, but in what isn't fully present. It's the subtle absence of that deep-rooted I am here energy, a quality so rare and precious in our perpetually distracted age. And here lies the profound paradox. We often attempt to rectify this by striving to become more, to do more, to prove more. Yet, true presence isn't built by accumulation. It's built by a profound return to self. Imagine a mirror obscured by layers of dust. Regardless of how exquisite its frame, no one can perceive a clear reflection until its surface is lovingly uncovered. The essential work isn't to construct a more elaborate frame, but to gently remove that which clouds the glass. In the same profound way, your connection to your authentic self must be cleared of the dust of self-neglect, the shadows of self-doubt, and the incessant noise that relentlessly pulls you away from your own sacred center. Only then can another truly see you, not the carefully constructed version you perform, but the raw, luminous truth of who you simply are. And when you embark on this profound return to yourself, the entire dynamic shifts irrevocably. The rival is no longer external. The man no longer feels that subtle, unconscious pull towards a place you don't fully occupy. Instead, your presence becomes whole, steady, undeniable. You become once again the hearthfire, not chasing, not clinging, simply being. And in that profound state of being, you draw him closer without ever needing to move a single step. This quiet, inherent gravity guides us into the next profound truth, one that gently turns the conventional idea of attraction on its head. It isn't the fleeting chase nor the initial spark, nor even the intense passion that binds him most deeply. It's the profound sense of rest he experiences in your presence, a deep peace he may not even consciously realize he has been searching for his entire life. An intricate dance within the brain often goes unnoticed, yet its delicate steps shape much of what we perceive as desire and longing. Dopamine, the swift messenger of novelty and reward, floods the system when something new appears. It ignites excitement, fuels anticipation, and can even make the ordinary seem extraordinary for a fleeting moment. Yet, this very dance can become a subtle trap, leading us to relentlessly chase illusions of connection instead of recognizing the deep underlying currents. Joe Dispenza's profound work reminds us that while the brain is wired to crave novelty, it also deeply seeks safety and unwavering consistency. This presents a paradox. The initial rush of attraction, that dazzling, effervescent burst of dopamine, is akin to the fleeting brilliance of a shooting star, bright and mesmerizing yet inherently brief. The heart's deeper, more enduring loyalty, however, is meticulously shaped over time by the steady, rhythmic pulse of emotional safety and unwavering presence. It is precisely here, in this delicate yet powerful balance, that true, lasting connection finds its deepest roots. When a man consciously chooses to leave countless options behind, it isn't because the initial thrill has vanished. It's because he has discovered the sacred space where his nervous system can finally rest. A foundational emotional home, where he no longer feels the incessant need to seek or to perform. This is the magnetic pull that transcends mere logic or superficial appearance. It's the profound sanctuary within a woman's presence that calls him back to an innate stillness. Yet many women unknowingly perpetuate their own inner turbulence by relentlessly chasing dopamine spikes, seeking external validation, fleeting new attention, or quick, superficial bursts of affirmation. This internal restlessness creates subtle ripples within the nervous system that communicate far more powerfully than words. The body instinctively knows when the mind is unsettled, and it responds accordingly, often pushing away the very connection it craves. A delicate, profound art exists in learning to regulate this internal dance, to gently quiet the incessant craving for external stimulation and wholeheartedly welcome an inner steadiness. Small intentional rituals, moments of profound presence, can gradually slow this frantic chase. Breathing deeply before responding to a message, pausing consciously before reacting impulsively, placing a gentle, reassuring hand over the heart to lovingly reconnect with yourself. These aren't grand, dramatic gestures, but tender whispers of self-care that begin to subtly rewrite old, ingrained patterns. As you diligently cultivate this profound calm within, your entire energetic field undergoes a magnificent transformation. The desperate need to seek external validation diminishes. The inherent power to attract, authentically and effortlessly, emerges more fully. Not through strenuous striving, but through a profound surrender. A surrender to the liberating truth that you are already inherently enough, whole and complete in your own sacred right. This deep understanding gently guides us into the next profound layer, the archetype that lingers far beyond the fleeting muse and ultimately becomes the unwavering axis around which his entire emotional world gracefully turns. A profound distinction exists, subtle yet immensely significant, between the woman who inspires like a transient muse and the one who becomes the enduring emotional axis of a man's deepest inner world. The muse may dazzle, ignite, and then vanish like a spark carried away by the wind. But the axis, she is the steady, unwavering source, the deep wellspring from which his profound emotions flow and to which they inevitably return. She is the river's silent origin, tranquil yet unstoppable, shaping the very landscape of his heart without force or demand. Carl Jung profoundly taught that archetypes are the invisible, universal patterns that intricately shape our souls, the interplay of light and shadow that dances beneath the surface of consciousness. The woman who truly embodies her individuation, who is no longer fragmented by external roles or societal expectations, becomes a living, breathing symbol of profound wholeness. This inherent wholeness, this deep, authentic presence, calls to the man not as a superficial role to be played, but as a fundamental truth to be recognized. It isn't a performance. It's a sacred, organic unfolding. When you consciously step into this axis archetype, your presence ceases to waver. It is a profound homecoming, first to yourself, and then, inevitably, for the other. He may wander through countless rivers and streams, but always like water seeking its source, he will find his way back to where the wellspring runs clear and pure. This isn't about possession or control. It's about an inherent inevitability. You aren't a mere prize to be won, but a sacred place to which he will instinctively return again and again, drawn by an unseen force. This profound inevitability is sensed deep within the nervous system, transcending mere words and superficial appearances. It is a feeling of deep safety and an innate recognition that few can articulate, yet many relentlessly seek. It is the silent, unwavering promise that here, finally, is a woman who doesn't fracture at the first sign of difficulty, who holds herself whole and integrated through both life's storms and its tranquil moments alike. And it is from this unwavering axis that the next profound truth gracefully unfolds. The subtle language spoken not with words, but with the gentle rhythm of breath, the nuanced tone of voice, and the delicate flicker of micro-expressions that dance across the face before we are even consciously aware of them. This is the ancient language that instinctively communicates to him, without a single word being uttered, that here is safety, here is profound regulation, here is an authentic home. A language exists that transcends words, one that speaks in the quiet, resonant tones of breath, the gentle, unhurried pace of speech, and the soft, fleeting flicker of micro-expressions that subtly dance across the face before we even consciously register them. This profound language is the authentic voice of the nervous system, an ancient primal code our bodies instinctively read to discern whether we are truly safe or in imminent danger, whether we can wholeheartedly trust or must instinctively flee. It is the invisible, intricate thread that weaves intimacy or distance without a single sentence ever being spoken. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory profoundly illuminates this deep truth. Our bodies are in a constant, unconscious state of scanning for cues of safety. The slightest, almost imperceptible shift in voice tone, a calming, rhythmic cadence in the breath, a steady, unwavering gaze. These subtle signals communicate to the nervous system that it can finally relax, that it is no longer trapped in a state of fight or flight. And in the profound presence of such regulating signals, a man's innate instinct to commit grows exponentially stronger, rooted not in mere words, but in deeply felt, embodied experience. When you choose to respond from this sacred place of regulation instead of impulsive reactivity, you embody a profound sanctuary. It isn't about striving for an unattainable perfection or rigid control. It's about cultivating an authentic presence, a steady, unwavering pulse beneath the storm, a conscious pause before the next word is uttered, a deep, calming breath that gently invites inner peace. This is the profound energy that communicates without speaking. Here, you are truly safe. Here, you can lovingly lower your defenses. Here, you are deeply held. One simple yet profoundly transformative gesture can begin to rewire this ancient communication. The conscious two-breath pause before responding when triggered. In those two sacred breaths, you consciously create a space, a profound internal silence where your nervous system can gently settle, where you consciously choose presence over impulsive reaction. This small intentional pause ripples outward, subtly reshaping the energetic dynamic between you and others, gracefully transforming tension into an authentic, unwavering trust. This subtle, yet powerful language gently carries you into the sacred realm, where desire meets profound depth, where attraction is no longer about superficial appearances or fleeting sparks, but about a coherence so deep and authentic that it roots itself irrevocably within the very core of the soul. Our sacred moment exists when desire, raw and intensely electric, begins to seek something far more profound than mere surface gratification. While external beauty and initial chemistry may ignite the initial spark, it is the profound coherence of identity, the quiet, unwavering alignment of your inner world, that steadfastly holds a man's deepest loyalty long after the first glance has gently faded. This is precisely where the true resonant pulse of authentic connection beats, beneath the dazzling, often deceptive, flashing lights of superficial attraction, steady and profoundly unwavering. Carl Jung spoke of the self as the profound totality we are instinctively drawn to, an authentic presence that gracefully encompasses both light and shadow, inherent strength and tender vulnerability, untamed wildness and profound stillness. When a woman lives in profound contact with her authentic self, she radiates an irreplaceable, luminous authenticity. It isn't a carefully constructed mask or a performed role, but a living, breathing truth that deeply reverberates within the most hidden, unconscious parts of the psyche. Consider the profound story of a man who consciously chose to leave behind the allure of glamour and fleeting excitement for a woman whose profound presence brought him a sense of quiet clarity. It wasn't primarily her external beauty that held him, though she possessed it, but the profound inner state she effortlessly evoked within him. A sacred space where his restless mind could finally settle, where his heart could truly breathe. His decision was less about what she explicitly said or did, and far more about the profound essence of what she was, whole, deeply grounded, and utterly unshaken. This profound depth neither demands nor pleads, it simply is. And in its unwavering presence, superficial desire gracefully transforms into something sacred, a profound call not merely to fleeting union, but to an authentic, enduring belonging. This belonging isn't a restrictive cage, but a liberating home, not a painful loss of freedom, but an expansive invitation to a fuller, more authentic presence. As this profound journey gracefully unfolds, it becomes exquisitely clear that the choice a man makes, often without fully comprehending its deeper origins, isn't random nor superficial. It is archetypal, primal, an innate recognition of profound wholeness that transcends mere logic. This gently guides us to the profound conclusion where the invisible switch fully reveals itself. The sacred moment you cease chasing, you inherently become the one who is chosen. A moment exists, subtle yet profoundly transformative, when attraction no longer feels like a conscious choice, but an inevitable deep recognition. Carl Jung eloquently described this as the psyche's silent, innate acknowledgement of wholeness, a symbol far deeper than words, a connection that transcends the limitations of logic and rests securely in the sacred realm of archetypes. It is precisely here in this hallowed space that true authentic longing finally finds its profound answer, not through frantic pursuit, but through unwavering presence. Joe Dispenza powerfully reminds us that our inner state radiates its influence far beyond the confines of conscious thought. Our electromagnetic field inherently carries either profound coherence or subtle discord, harmonious resonance or fragmented dissonance, and others instinctively sense this energetic signature long before any words are even spoken. This is the true invisible switch, the sacred moment your inner energy perfectly aligns, where your thoughts and feelings gracefully converge into a magnetic, undeniable authenticity. Paradoxically, the very instant you cease striving to win over others, the profound moment you genuinely stop competing or performing, you inherently become the one chosen without question or hesitation. Like a steadfast lighthouse, standing unwavering through the fiercest storms, you don't pursue the ships. Instead, they are instinctively drawn toward your steady, luminous presence through the darkest, most treacherous waters. This profound choice isn't about conquest or superficial control. It is a sacred invitation, an invitation to first journey back into your authentic self, to lovingly reclaim the inner sanctuary that no one else can ever truly take away. It is in this profound return, in this deep, soul-stirring homecoming, that the right man instinctively steps away from all others and gracefully moves towards your unwavering light. And so perhaps today is the sacred day to pause, to breathe deeply, to listen intently to the quiet, knowing voice within that whispers, "Your solitude isn't your inherent weakness, it is your sacred sanctuary." And from this profound sanctuary, all true, authentic connection gracefully flows.